Didn't want it to get out so bad about you. And DC's. And I got the screenshots. And I'm about to post them. Cause DC was like, oh, her wife, her husband don't want the cameras. Stopped rolling. But the drama didn't. What started as another love and hip-hop story, line has erupted into one of the wildest betrayals reality TV has ever seen, according to fresh insider leaks. Mendeecees has allegedly walked out on Yandy Smith, a woman who stood by him through prison, public humiliation, and endless social media speculation, and secretly married another woman, a longtime acquaintance named Angie M, known on Instagram for her luxury lifestyle posts and quiet connections inside the Atlanta entertainment scene. When the rumor first hit, fans thought it was clickbait, but within hours, screenshots, courthouse filings, and even cryptic posts from Yandy herself started circulating. One of them simply read, "Some vows were never real, only rehearsed." That single caption set the internet on fire. Now everyone wants to know, did Menz actually cheat on Yandy with Angie? And if the marriage rumors are true, how deep does this betrayal go? Witnesses claim the two were spotted together weeks before the scandal broke at a private charity event in Miami, where Mendeecees was supposedly hosting for Turning Point Records. Paparazzi caught him holding hands with a woman who wasn't Yandy, and by the time blogs picked up the story, the footage had mysteriously vanished from multiple platforms. But that wasn't an accident. Behind the scenes, insiders say a full-scale media cover-up was in play. One allegedly orchestrated by Mendeecees himself to protect a secret that was about to explode. Because this wasn't just a fling, this was a marriage. And when the receipts finally surfaced, fans realized Yandy hadn't lost her husband. Overnight, she'd been losing him slowly for years. To understand just how explosive this scandal really is, you have to go back to where the story between Yandy Smith and Mendeecees actually began. Long before the red carpets, the confessional interviews, and the flashy reality TV edits, theirs was the kind of love story people rooted for. Yandy wasn't just a cast member of Love and Hip Hop New York. She was the blueprint, ambitious, loyal, business-minded, and unshakably devoted to her family. Mendeecees was her rock, her protector, and at one point, her redemption arc. Together, they were supposed to represent the rarest thing in reality TV, a love that could survive anything. When Mendeecees was sentenced to prison for drug-related charges, Yandy's world didn't fall apart, yet went into overdrive. She became both mom and dad, managing her businesses, caring for their children, visiting him religiously, and defending his name against gossip that he'd been unfaithful, even while incarcerated. Fans admired her strength. They made hashtags for her, Free Mendeecees, Ride for Indeed, turning her into a cultural symbol of loyalty and love. But behind the filtered photos and motivational captions, the cracks had already begun to show. According to close friends of the couple, Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship had been quietly deteriorating long before his release. The loyalty that once defined them had started to feel one-sided. She was fighting for something that wasn't fighting back. One insider revealed to Urban Tea Daily, he appreciated her, sure, but he didn't love her the same way anymore. When Mendeecees finally came home, fans expected a fairy tale reunion. Instead, they got tension disguised as chemistry. The smiles looked forced, the hugs staged. People noticed, and when the show's cameras stopped, the distance between them only grew wider. Then came the first sign of trouble, an unguarded moment during a Love and Dive and Hip Hop reunion special, when Mendeecees admitted on national television that if the roles had been reversed and Yandy had been the one in prison, he probably wouldn't have waited. That single statement detonated like a grenade. The audience gasped. Yandy's smile froze. Social media exploded. How could he say that about the woman who had waited years? Kay raised his children and carried his name through scandal after scandal. Fans were furious, but instead of walking away, Yandy doubled down, saying publicly that love forgives what pride can't. It was the kind of heartbreak only a loyal woman could justify. Still, things didn't go back to normal. After the cameras wrapped on season 10, Yandy began posting vague, cryptic captions about finding peace, about learning self-worth, about walking away from what hurts. Fans thought she was venting about business stress. Now they realized those posts were breadcrumbs, because while Yandy was fighting for her marriage, Mendeecees was already building another life. Enter Angie M. According to reports, Angie wasn't a random woman. She'd known Marries for years, allegedly through mutual acquaintances in Atlanta's music industry. She was quiet, low profile, not a reality star, but she was around. She'd reportedly worked on small branding campaigns, event promotions, and charity galas. Nothing flashy, just enough to stay in the right rooms. What few people knew was that Mendeecees had been quietly investing in projects outside of Yandy's world private ventures, mostly in Atlanta and Miami, and Angie was allegedly right there, helping him coordinate, manage contacts, and keep things organized. Multiple insiders have now confirmed what fans suspected their connection wasn't. Professional lit was personal. She was there when Yandy wasn't. One source told the Shade Alert, and not because Yandy didn't want to be. It's because Mendeecees didn't let her be. Angie became the person he called for advice, for comfort, for company. It started emotional, but it didn't stay that way. By late spring, gossip sites began receiving anonymous tips that Mendeecees had been spotted with a mysterious woman in Miami. But what nobody realized at the time was that those sightings lined up perfectly with his business trips, even Yandy's. Close friends reportedly began to question things. One friend allegedly told her, "You're fighting to hold together a marriage that only exists online." Still, Yandy refused to believe it. She was the same woman who had weathered years of criticism for standing by her man through prison. Why would she quit now when he was finally home? That's what made the next part so cruel. In early August, Yandy was blindsided by leaked photos and Angie together at a private charity event, his hand on her lower back, both smiling like a couple. When Yandy confronted him, he allegedly brushed it off. "She's just a friend," he said. "You know how people twist things." But 2 weeks later, TMZ dropped the story that changed everything. Men's Harris had secretly filed a marriage certificate in Georgia, listing his spouse as Angela Reynolds. The internet lost its mind. Yandy found out the same way the public did through headlines. And according to sources close to her, she collapsed in tears when she saw the news. But the betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was calculated. The marriage filing date matched the same weekend Yandy had posted photos from a girls' retreat in Jamaica while she was meditating on the beach and captioning posts with healing energy. Her husband was allegedly walking down an aisle in a private ceremony 2 states away. Now, the question isn't whether Mendeecees cheated. It's how long the affair was happening and who knew about it. Because the more people dig, the clearer it becomes that this wasn't a spontaneous betrayal. It was a plan, years in the making, and when new footage surfaced from a production assistant's phone footage that was never meant to air the whole truth about Mendeecees, Angie and the fake happy marriage that fooled millions came crashing down. The night the footage leaked, social media practically stopped breathing. It wasn't from a gossip blog or a reality fan account. It came from a burner page with no followers, no bio, and a single post titled "Truth Hurts, The Harris Files." The clip was shaky, clearly filmed on a phone during what appeared to be an after-hours love and hip-hop taping. The camera panned across the set, dim lights, crew members packing up until it caught Mendeecees standing near a dressing room door, whispering into his phone. Mendeecees quietly, "Yeah baby, it's done." As quietly, "Yeah baby, it's done." She's still asking questions, but by next week, I'll be out. Unidentified voice laughing softly. You sure she's not going to find out? Mendeecees, not if you keep your head down. You know how to move. The camera zoomed slightly, and though the woman's face wasn't visible, her nails were a distinct set of gold-tipped acrylics, identical to the ones Angie had been photographed wearing 2 days earlier in Miami. When the clip hit Twitter, the comments section turned into a digital riot. So, he been cheating. Yandy fought the world for this man, and he gave his loyalty to a side chick with a manicure. Angie better delete her socials, cause fans coming for blood. But that was just the beginning. Within hours, 2 more clips appeared, both time-stamped months before the supposed split. In one, Mendeecees is seen taking a FaceTime call backstage at an event, whispering, "I love you too," before quickly hanging up as Yandy walks by. In another, Angie appears on her own IG Live, laughing with friends and saying, "When your man finally comes home and knows how to act," before abruptly ending the stream by morning. Mendeecees' post was the #1 trending topic across social media. Yandy's name was next to it, and yet she stayed silent. For 48 hours, fans waited for her to say something. No posts, no likes, not even a story. Instead, a mysterious screenshot began circulating. A private DM between Yandy and an unknown account. Allegedly, Angie's burner page. The message read, "You won. Hope it was worth destroying a family for." And the reply, "He wasn't your family anymore. He was mine." That's when the internet lost it. The betrayal wasn't just personal. It was public property now. Everyone had an opinion, and none of them were gentle. But buried under all the outrage was something far more sinister. Something that suggested Angie hadn't come out of nowhere. A journalist from Media Circuit Online released a deep dive thread linking Angie to multiple production staff members from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Allegedly, she had worked indirectly with VH1's promotional teams during the show's earlier seasons, specifically during the time Yandy and Mendeecees were negotiating their spin-off deals. That connection changed everything. It meant that Angie had been orbiting Yandy's world long before she and Mendeecees got together. Not as a fan, not as a stranger, but as someone who had access. Several insiders started talking. One production assistant, using a voice filler on TikTok, claimed that Angie was around the crew more than she should have been, and that she played the long game. She knew where to stand and what to say. Another anonymous staffer backed it up, saying, "Angie often volunteered to handle small event logistics. Whenever Mendeecees was scheduled to appear, she'd always make sure to be the one calling his car, checking his mic, setting up his dressing room." The staffer said, "At first, everyone thought she was just being nice. Later, we realized it was strategy." Then came the bombshell, a leaked email chain between Angie and one of the show's field producers, titled MNC Scene Adjustments. In it, Angie allegedly discussed ways to shift the narrative of Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship. Arc for season 13. One line stood out. The more tension on camera, the easier it'll be for him to pivot public sympathy later, if authentic. That meant the breakup wasn't just organic drama, was engineered. And that's when fans started connecting dots that no one had dared to before. Was Angie just a side of 4? Was she planted? Several gossip analysts began theorizing that Angie was part of a broader scheme to rebuild Mendeecees' image, separate him from Yandy's Shadow K, and relaunch him as a solo brand. One YouTube commentator said it best. "Think about each Yandy was the star, Mendeecees was the +1. He wanted his own narrative, and Angie gave him that. She wasn't a mistake, she was a rebrand." The theory gained even more traction when documents surfaced from the Fulton County Sharktades. If you're going to county count, if you're using like a scanner app, and if you're using like a scanner app, and it's like you're going to die, like look at this. I like to set up, like look at this, and we all like look at this. And we all know I've been exploring that private traction when we, quote Q, walk time quad. Clerk's office confirming that Men's new LLC registered just a week before the alleged secret. Wedding listed Angie as the code dash. Founder. Fans were stunned. This wasn't just a romance, it was a partnership. And the most painful part, Yandy had no idea. Sources close to her told Black Buzz Weekly that Yandy discovered the business registration through mutual friends. She didn't believe it at first. One friend said she kept saying it must be a typo, but when she saw the documents herself, she went completely quiet. That same night, Yandy posted a single Instagram story of black background with white text. Loyalty without reciprocity is self-destruction. The post vanished within an hour. Meanwhile, fans dug deeper, uncovering another disturbing detail. Angie had been wearing what appeared to be a diamond band for months, long before the marriage documents surfaced. In one interview clip from a charity gala, she was even caught saying, "Come, it's easy when it's with the right one." The timeline was collapsing in on itself, and every new leak made the picture clearer. Mendeecees didn't fall into temptation. He built an escape route, and while the world watched Yandy stand tall, preach forgiveness, and protect her family's image, her husband was secretly rewriting his story with another woman. The first twist hit like lightning when Angie finally broke her silence, not with a statement, but with a wedding photo uploaded to her private Instagram and quickly screen captured by followers. The picture showed Angie in a sleek ivory gown, standing beside Mendeecees in a dark tuxedo. No caption, no hashtags, just a simple heart emoji and the word forever. Within 20 minutes, Yandy's name was trending again worldwide. But this time it wasn't sympathy, it was shock, because in the background of the photo, faintly blurred but unmistakable, was a familiar face of VH1 cameraman, meaning one horrifying thing. The secret wedding hadn't just happened, it had been filmed for months. Fans thought they'd been watching a marriage fall apart, but the truth was far darker. They'd been watching one love story die while another one was being produced. When that wedding photo dropped, the internet cracked in half. Within hours, every blog gossip site and entertainment outlet, from the Shade Room to Page 6, was running with the same headline. Leaked footage suggests Mendeecees' secret wedding filmed by VH1 crew. The implications were staggering. If the camera seen in the background really did belong to the Love and Hip Hop team, then that meant VH1, or at least someone tied to production, had known all along. Fans couldn't believe it. How could the same network that had built Yandy's image as the ride-or-die wife be quietly filming her husband's new marriage? The outrage was immediate. Twitter went nuclear. This is the most evil plot twist in reality TV history. They had us rooting for a love story, while filming the betrayal behind her back. Cancel the whole show. This isn't entertainment, it's emotional warfare. But the chaos didn't stop there. Late that evening, a TMZ live correspondent revealed something jaw-dropping. The camera in Angie's wedding photo did belong to VH1, but not as part of the official Love and Hip Hop Atlanta production team. It was part of an independent spin-off, being quietly developed under the working title Life After Love, the men's project. That's right. While Yandy was filming her scenes for the next season, and Mendeecees was filming his own secret show about starting over, finding peace, and redefining love. And Angie wasn't a side character. She was the co-star. Producers had been shooting it for months, in secret locations across Georgia and Florida, under the guise of music documentary footage. Even more disturbingly, leaked production call sheets showed that the working title had been registered before Yandy's last filmed episode. Aired. Meaning the decision to replace her wasn't spontaneous, was scripted. Insiders began talking fast. One assistant producer, hiding their identity, told Media T Daily this was planned. They wanted a shock moment. The idea was to build sympathy for him, a redemption arc. But without Yandy in the picture, she was supposed to be blindsided for authenticity. The phrase blindsided for authenticity sent chills down everyone's spine. For years, Yandy had been the emotional core of love and hip-hop. She'd built the Harris brand through loyalty and resilience. And now that same authenticity had been weaponized against her. To make matters worse, leaked emails showed Mendeecees had personally signed a new deal with VH1's parent company, one that granted him partial ownership over his relaunch series. The contract was dated 3 months before he and Yandy publicly announced their separation. That revelation flipped the narrative completely. Fans realized that Mendeecees hadn't just betrayed Yandy Heed's soldier downfall. Within 24 hours, Yandy's Instagram following doubled as supporters flooded her comments with messages like, "You built that man from nothing. You don't need him. He needed your name. Yandy deserves her own documentary. We want her truth." And that's when the next bomb hit. A former Love and Hip Hop editor leaked a rough cut of an unaired scene from the previous season footage that had never been approved for broadcast. In it, Yandy and Mendeecees are arguing in their home. It starts mild but quickly escalates. "Yandy, you're not here anymore, even when you are. Mendeecees, you just like to say you held it down. It makes you look good. Gandandy, I didn't do it for optics. I did it for us. Mendeecees, there ain't no us. Not since I came home." He walks out of the room, leaving Yandy staring after him, whispering, "Then why'd you ask me to wait?" That single moment, unfiltered, unedited, broke people's hearts. It was proof that Yandy's marriage had been dying quietly, behind the scenes, long before anyone saw it. But there was something else in the background of that clip that no one noticed at first. A shadow passing through the hallway. When fans froze the frame, enhanced the image, and shared it online, they spotted her, Angie, standing just outside the doorway. It was blurry, but unmistakable. That footage had been filmed months before the world even knew who Angie was. Meaning, she hadn't just appeared after the breakups. She'd been in Yandy's home around her family, long before it all came crashing down. That detail set off another firestorm. So Angie was in the house. Was she working for a production or for him? They let this woman stand in her house while pretending to be her friend. Even former castmates began to chime in. Erica Dixon posted a cryptic story saying, "The real ones know what we saw behind the scenes." Carly Red commented under a gossip post, "This one was planned. Trust me." VH1 tried to contain the damage, releasing a statement claiming that no official production involving Mendeecees Harris has been confirmed at this time. But that denial backfired, instantly, because just 2 days later, People magazine dropped exclusive stills from the secret show's pilot episode. The headline read, "Exclusive, Mendeecees Harris returns to TV with new wife. Angie, this is my fresh start." The accompanying quote from Mendeecees sent shockwaves across the internet. DC sent shockwaves across the internet. "I'm not apologizing for finding peace. Sometimes you got to leave history behind to make your future right." The timing was cruel. The photo was worse. It showed Mendeecees and Angie holding hands outside a church, smiling with Yandy's old wedding photo faintly visible in a frame behind them. That wasn't coincidence. That was provocation. Yandy finally broke her silence. She went live for 20 minutes, tears in her eyes but voice steady. "I built my life around loyalty. I thought that if I loved loud enough, if I forgave enough, maybe that would be enough. But what I learned is, when people show you they've moved on, believe them. Don't fight for a seat at a table you built when they already sold the furniture." Millions watched in silence. It wasn't rage. It wasn't revenge, which grief turned into power. Her live ended with one line. It went instantly viral. "They filmed my pain like it was entertainment. But I promise you, my comeback won't need cameras." The internet crowned her the winner of a war she never asked for. But behind the trending hashtags, something darker loomed, because just hours after Yandy's emotional broadcast, an anonymous source uploaded one final document. An email chain between Angie, a VH1 executive, and Mendeecees himself, the subject line, engagement rollout timeline, and attached to it was a PDF labeled Yandy Response Strategy. It outlined exactly how producers planned to spin Yandy's heartbreak, right down to how long she'd stay silent, what phrases would trend, and how Angie's graceful debut would contrast with Yandy's emotional exit. Fans were horrified. It meant even Yandy's silence had been STORYBOARD. She hadn't just lost her husband. She'd been edited out of her own story. And now the woman who once represented loyalty had a choice. Stay silent and let VH1 own her payer. Take back the narrative, one truth bomb at a time. That choice would lead directly to the next chapter. The part no one was ready for, because Yandy wasn't done fighting. And the next leak wouldn't come from VH1, Mendeecees or Angie. It would come from her. By the time Yandy's tearful livestream ended, the internet had split into factions. Half the world was mourning with her, calling her the queen of resilience, while the other half was obsessed with Angie, the woman now being labeled as either the ultimate manipulator or the scapegoat of a toxic empire. Hashtags like #TryUsTeamy Yandy and #IsA in single quotes, it dominated every platform. On TikTok, creators posted side-by-side comparisons of Yandy and Angie's wedding photos, one symbolizing real love, the other reality manufactured. YouTube reactors called the scandal the final collapse of love and hip-hop's morality. Even celebrities weighed in. Cardi B commented under a gossip post, "That's why I don't let nobody play with me or my peace. Loyalty don't mean nothing in that industry no more." Tamar Braxton reposted Yandy's live stream with a caption that read, "I felt that in my spirit. They love to film our pain, but they don't want to show our healing." Within hours, Yandy's followers ballooned past 8 million. Every major outlet wanted her story, but she stayed quiet until she made her move. Days after the broadcast, Yandy uploaded a 15-second teaser clip titled Unedited, The Truth They Tried to Hide. The thumbnail showed her holding a phone with the VH1 logo blurred out, and her voice narrating, "If they could edit me out of my own life, they could edit any woman's truth. Not this time," was short, powerful, and deliberate. And it worked. The clip racked up 20 million views in under 24 hours. That's when the speculation started. Was Yandy producing her own documentary? Sources close to her confirmed it. She had partnered with an independent network to tell her version of events with full creative control. No scripts, no staged reunions, no forced redemption arcs, just receipts, real footage, and interviews with people who had seen what really went on behind the scenes. One insider told Deadline VH1 made a show out of her heartbreak. She's about to make a legacy out of her comeback. Meanwhile, chaos engulfed the love and hip-hop brand. Viewers started organizing mass boycott under the tag #ShutYaMute VH1, demanding transparency and accountability. Former cast members began speaking up. Tariq Dixon, Chrissy Lamin, and even KM Michelle dropped cryptic posts, suggesting the manipulation went far deeper than anyone knew. KM Michelle tweeted, "When producers start playing God, expect demons." It was deleted within minutes, but screenshots ensured it lived forever. Then came the corporate damage. VH1's parent company, Paramount, held an emergency board meeting after advertisers began pulling out of future love and hip-hop projects. A leaked memo showed executives describing the Mendeecees scandal as brand-threatening. Ratings had dropped 42% in a single week. And yet, even as the network crumbled under backlash, Mendeecees and Angie seemed unbothered. posting photos of themselves smiling in matching white outfits with captions like, "Love always wins," and "Peace looks good on us." But the peace didn't last long. Fans noticed inconsistencies in Angie's story. Her secret wedding appeared to have been filmed months before she and Mendeecees went public, meaning they might have tied the knot while he was still legally married to Yandy. Internet sleuths dug up court documents showing Yandy had never filed divorce papers. Legally, she and Mendeecees were still bound. If true, that meant the secret marriage wasn't just scandalous, it was illegal. The revelation triggered another avalanche. Fans flooded Angie's comments, calling her the fake wife, the contract bride, and Mrs. PR stunt. Some even began tagging law enforcement agencies, demanding an investigation into potential bigamy. Lawyers chimed in. One celebrity divorce attorney told the Jasmine brand, if that license was filed while Mendeecees was still legally wed to Yandy, it's void. But the bigger issue here is intent. Did they knowingly fake a marriage for publicity? That question became the new center of gravity. Because if Angie and Mendeecees staged the wedding for a VH1 spin-off that never aired, then the entire thing could constitute fraud under contract law. While legal experts debated, a quiet storm brewed in Hollywood. Streaming networks started circling Yandy's story like hawks. Netflix, Hulu, and Lifetime all reportedly reached out, offering seven-figure deals for LHHATL documentary. But before any deal could be finalized, another twist emerged. One that no one saw coming. A whistleblower inside. VH1 leaked a full 27-minute clip from the Life After Love pilot. The footage showed behind-the-scenes interviews, production notes, and even coaching sessions, where producers fed Angie and Mendeecees scripted lines. Producer, off camera, Angie, say you're finally free to love without guilt. Angie, but I don't feel guilty. Producer, pretend you do it, sells better. That moment changed everything. Fans realized Angie wasn't just complicit, she was being directed. The happy marriage wasn't a love story. It was a manufactured storyline, designed to save a sinking franchise. Public opinion flipped overnight. Sympathy for Angie evaporated as fast as her followers. Her business deals collapsed. Sponsors dropped her by. And one luxury brand issued a statement saying, "We do not associate with manufactured narratives." Meanwhile, Mendeecees was nowhere to be found. Rumors swirled that he'd gone off the grid, possibly negotiating with VH1 lawyers to avoid further legal fallout. Yandy's star, however, only rose higher. Her team confirmed production had officially begun on her independent documentary, with a working title Unscripted. The announcement sent shockwaves through the industry. Blogs called it the end of the VH1 era. One critic wrote, "This isn't just reality TV, it's poetic justice." The woman they tried to erase just became the face of truth in an industry built on lies. And yet, even as Yandy prepared to reclaim her voice, another secret surfaced, one buried deep in the original production archives, one that tied back to Angie's involvement long before the affair even began. Because it turned out Angie wasn't just Mendeecees' new wife. She'd once been part of Yandy's inner circle, and when that connection finally came to light, the betrayal hit deeper than anyone could have imagined. It started with a photo, an old sun-faded Polaroid, that resurfaced from a forgotten laptop drive, belonging to a former Love and Hip Hop production assistant. In it, a young Yan Smith smiled brightly, surrounded by a small group of women in what looked like a charity event planning meeting. The caption on the back read, "Future bosses in the making, minus 2012. But what froze everyone's blood wasn't Yandy's radiant grin. It was the woman standing just behind her, hand on her shoulder, face turned toward the camera with a familiar smirk. Angie, the image was undeniable. 10 years before she allegedly met Mendeecees' Angie, had been in Yandy's professional orbit, helping plan one of Yandy's early empowerment events for women in entertainment. This wasn't just betrayal. It was premeditated proximity. Bloggers went wild. So Angie wasn't a stranger. She was a ghost from Yandy's past. This wasn't love. It was revenge disguised as romance. And then came the receipts to back it up. Screenshots of old emails from 2012 showed that Angie had once interned briefly at Everything Girls Love, Yandy's former lifestyle brand. Her name appeared on several archived staff memos, including one note that read, "Angie confirmed travel arrangements for M." She confirmed travel arrangements for MM, as in Mendeecees. That realization hit like a bomb. Angie hadn't stumbled into Mendeecees' life by accident. She'd been near him since the very beginning, watching, waiting, learning their patterns. It suddenly all made sense. The eerie familiarity, the way she knew how to move within Yandy's world, the calculated patience. This wasn't a spontaneous affair. This was a long game. But that wasn't the biggest revelation. A leaked voice memo surfaced from a former Love and Hip Hop producer who had worked closely with both women during the early seasons. In it, he confessed something that changed the entire timeline. Angie pitched herself years ago. She said she had a backup storyline if Yandy ever left. Nobody took her seriously back then. I guess she made it happen on her own. That line sent the internet spiraling. Angie hadn't just entered Yandy's world. She'd planned her replacement. As the story spread, another chilling detail emerged. The infamous Life After Love spin-off. The show Angie and Mendeecees secretly filmed had been financed in part by a private investor named Raman T. Lewis, a former VH1 consultant and a known rival of one of Yandy's biggest business partners. Insiders whispered that Lewis had once approached Yandy with an offer for her own spin-off show years earlier. But when she refused, citing creative integrity, he allegedly vowed to build a new queen from her shadow. Oh, years later, he had you sing Yandy's own former intern. The puzzle pieces snapped together. Angie knew Yandy. She knew Mendeecees. She knew exactly how to infiltrate both their worlds. And when the opportunity came, she didn't just take Yandy's man, she took her storyline. But even after all of that, the world wasn't ready for the final leak. A newly obtained production memo, dated just 1 month before this secret wedding, revealed an outline for the Life After Love series finale. Under a section titled Resolution Arc, the final line read, "Yandy confronts Angie Rees she knew all along. The truth sets her free." That's right, the finale wasn't supposed to end with Mendeecees and Angie living happily ever after. It was designed to end with Yandy walking away, gracefully reclaiming her power, and exposing everything except according to 2 internal emails. VH1 executives scrapped that storyline when Yandy became too unpredictable. They cut her out before she could reclaim her ending. And that's when fans realized the deepest irony of all. Yandy's real-life heartbreak was supposed to be scripted redemption all along. The only reason it turned tragic was because she refused to play along by now. The world wasn't just invested in the drama. They were furious. Furious at the network. Furious at Mendeecees. Furious at Angie. And yet, in the middle of that storm, Yandy moved in silence. No posts, no clapbacks, no interviews. Until out of nowhere, she dropped a single black and white video clip on Instagram. Her voice calm but firm, narrated over soft piano keys. You can't replace what was never yours to begin with. You can copy it, you can rehearse it, you can film it, but you can't live it. I built something real, and when they tried to steal it, all they did was expose themselves. The video ended with white text, fading in unscripted coming soon. Was less than 15 seconds long, but it broke the internet again, because this time it wasn't gossip. It wasn't revenge. It was the quiet promise of something far more powerful. Yandy's truth. On her own terms, fans flooded the comments with thousands of messages of support, calling her the phoenix of reality TV. Industry insiders predicted the series would end VH1 as we know it, And then, in the final seconds of the clip, a faint sound played, barely audible, but chilling for anyone who caught it. A woman's voice whispering almost like a confession. She wasn't supposed to find out. She wasn't supposed to find out. No one knows if it was a production artifact or a deliberate teaser, but fans swear it was Angie's voice. If that's true, it means Yandy has recordings, real ones that haven't seen the light of day. And according to a source close to her team, that's exactly what's coming next. Because Unscripted isn't just her comeback, it's her revenge story. And if the whispers are true, the first episode doesn't start with once upon a time, starts with a clip of Angie saying, "I always knew he'd come back to me." Fade to black. Cue the title card, "The Truth Hurts." So now, with the dust still settling and the internet still buzzing, one question remains. Who really won? Was it Mendeecees, who traded loyalty for legacy? Angie, who turned patience into power? Or Yandy, the woman who lost everything on camera, only to rebuild her empire off-screen? This isn't just another love and hip-hop scandal. It's the reckoning of reality TV itself. For years, producers sold us pain disguised as empowerment. They gave us scripted chaos and called it authenticity. But this time, the mask slipped. The cameras kept rolling after the cut, and the woman they tried to silence became the story everyone's dying to hear. Yandy isn't crying anymore. She's documenting. Angie isn't gloating. She's hiding. And Mendeecees, well, no one's quite sure where he stands now, because in this game, loyalty, fame, and betrayal all come with contracts. And sometimes the fine print costs you your soul. But what do you think? Was Yandy the victim of a cold-blooded plot? Or did she stay too long in a love that had already expired? Did Angie mastermind the ultimate revenge? Or was she just another pawn in a producer's master plan? And will Mendeecees ever face real accountability? Or has the industry already forgiven him for the sake of ratings? Drop your thoughts below. Don't hold back. Every opinion adds fuel to the conversation. Hit L if you believe. Yandy's comeback will shatter the fake reality TV mold, once and for all. Hit subscribe if you think her new series Unscripted will expose the side of the industry they never wanted us to see. And remember, every story you watch, every scandal you share, every unscripted moment that feels a little too perfect, someone somewhere is profiting off your reaction. So before you scroll away, ask yourself one thing. Are you watching the drama, or are you part of the script? Because as Yandy just proved, nothing on TV is ever real but redemption. That's the one storyline they can't write for you, or write for you. Right for you.